Hello, my name is Karen Robles. Today I'll be discussing the impacts of DNA testing and sequencing. For my webpage, I used HTML code as well as CSS in order for me to style my page and be able to make it look unique. For my banner, I used Pixlr Editor, used layers to be able to reduce the size, and add text as well to some of these pictures here that I have. I will go through each page here describing briefly impacts of this innovation as well as how it has impacted society as well as many other topics. So what this innovation is, according to DNA testing, Collins Dictionary defines DNA testing as biochemistry and the activity of testing as a sample of DNA to determine whether it matches particular characteristics. And according to Wikipedia, DNA sequencing is the process of determining the precise order of nucleotides within a DNA molecule. Here I have included two pictures here. This picture here to the left is a picture of a plant. And as you can see, it has DNA strands that are able to be sequenced in order for us to learn more information about this plant. This picture here to the left is a picture of medications. I decided to include this because DNA sequence allows scientists to come and develop new medications that specifically impact a certain person according to their disease. And we're able to develop, hopefully in the future, even more to best impact all the diseases that are yet to be developed and discovered. For this video here, I used my phone in order for me to record two videos. The first video of my sister and her input and her knowledge on this innovation. And the second video is one of my mom, and they both have polycystic kidney disease, which does not have a cure for it as of now. But in the second video, you see my mom taking multiple medications in order for her to be able to treat her rare disease. And hopefully in the future, she is able to benefit greatly from this innovation as well. So without further ado, I will go ahead and play this video for you. As a start in the video, I also used YouTube Editor in order for me to add both videos and combine them into one video, as well as add music and transitions to this video. Finally, I used YouTube in order for me to be able to upload and post this video so that viewers like yourself are able to see my video. The effects and impacts and some of the benefits and harmful effects of this innovation. Some of the benefits of this innovation is that it has led to the identification of many disease-related genes and advancement in sequencing technology. Some other benefits include improvements in the healthcare department, as well as in the forensic science department for the purpose of identifying criminals. A harmful effect is that DNA sequencing may not always work and may provide the wrong DNA sequence of the fragment. One harmful effect from DNA testing is that it may not always seem accurate. Here is a chart that I posted, and this predicts the amount of genomes that will be sequenced by 2025, and as you can see, this number just keeps getting higher, which makes perfect sense because as time progresses, new technology comes out, making technology cheaper, more affordable, and quicker for genomes to be sequenced. This following graph here was developed using Google Forms in order for me to be able to collect the data from 11 students from my class, and they pretty much gave me their input on how much they think DNA testing and sequencing has impacted society in general. And they rated it from a 4 to a 5, which is pretty high. And as time goes by, this innovation will just only become a bigger impact in society. DNA testing and sequencing has impacted society on all different levels. Scientists and researchers are developing new ways in which sequencing is being used to study rare genetic diseases in children, to study and learn more about the human origins and evolutionary patterns of migrations. DNA sequencing is also being used to study tumors of people with cancer in order to learn how to treat that person with cancer. DNA sequencing is also being used to study bacteria and also how the genome itself works. This following video here combines both technology as well as DNA sequencing. And it's a beautiful story because it's a young boy whose life was saved thanks to both technology as well as DNA sequencing, which is something that we were not able to say that we could do before. And now with this new innovation, things like this can happen. Some other fields that are greatly impacted besides computer science from DNA sequencing is fields like biology. They will continue to benefit from this innovation, as well as computer science, physics, and I believe the pharmaceutical company will benefit greatly with the sequencing of the human genome, because this innovation will lead to more discoveries of diseases and therefore an increased need for medications. There are many ways that a user interacts with DNA sequencing. The forensics department, being one of them, works directly with the DNA in order to collect evidence and assist with prosecuting criminals in court, as well as exonerating innocent people. Another example of how users interact with this innovation is, for example, in the aftermath of natural disasters, it leaves many unidentified bodies, and DNA is used to identify missing people through DNA samples. Archaeology also uses DNA sequencing in order to discover the origins of something, the dates that a fossil lived, and the connections that it has had with history, as well as teaches about different undiscovered cultures, etc. And here I put a picture of a person going to jail, and DNA sometimes is used in a courtroom to either, like I said before, exonerate somebody or prosecute somebody. One of the big ideas that I used and that I spoke about was algorithms. DNA sequencing uses computational methods such as algorithms and data structures for analyzing data sequencing. A type of program called Python is used to implement key algorithms and data structures to analyze real genome and DNA sequencing databases. New algorithms continue to be developed for data mining in order to discover novel genes. And as time goes by, technology just keeps getting cheaper, and sequencing technology will keep getting developed in order to sequence data even quicker. The innovation consumes data and produces data or transforms data. So I talked about DNA testing and sequencing producing data. The main purpose of the Human Genome Project was to catalog and make available the data to the scientific community. DNA contains genetic information that is analyzed to determine a person's statistically unique genetic profile. And by sequencing DNA, it transforms the data collected into new research to help scientists be able to understand the human body and its functions. One of the data storage concerns is that after a genome has been sequenced, assembled, and annotated, it is shared, and it's shared in a free format that makes it easily accessible to everybody. So the information needs to be stored in a database so that it can be shared with lots of people around the world. Now, this is a good thing, but it can also potentially be a bad thing because it's such a new innovation. There's still a lot of laws to be passed when it comes to the privacy of a lot of this data that is being contained in these databases, and government officials are still trying to come up with these laws, and as time goes by, new laws will be developed because of this. For my references page, I decided to use my first link, and this right here definitely was very long, but it had a lot of great information that I used and that I found very, very helpful in my research of DNA testing and sequencing.